I gotta say, I'm running out of ways to tell people that Jesus told us to follow the commandments. But let's do it one more time, shall we? Matthew 23, Then Jesus spoke to the multitudes and to his disciples, saying, The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Therefore, do whatever they tell you to observe. That observe and do. But do not do according to their works, for they say and do not do. I'm betting most of you never looked up what Moses' seat is. Let me do it for you. Ooh, here's a pretty example of it. Moses' seat, the name given to a special chair of honor in the synagogue where the authoritative teacher of the law sat. The teacher in practice exercised the authority of Moses. They read the Torah when they were in Moses' seat. When they were in Moses' seat, they read the law, the Torah, the commandments. Jesus said when they're in Moses' seat, do what they're telling you to do. Obey the commandments. But don't act like the Pharisees do, because they're hypocrites. They say and do not do. They do not practice what they preach. Jesus literally, flat out here says, follow the commandments. When they're reading the commandments, follow them. And then he further emphasized that even though the Pharisees read the commandments and teach the commandments, they weren't doing the commandments. So don't act like they did. Oh, but I know the mental gymnastics some of you like to play. Let's find a way to weasel out of being obedient to God. Oh, for instance, I'm sure he was only talking to the Jews, right? He definitely had one standard for the Jews today, and then tomorrow he had a different standard for the Gentiles. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Well, that's out. So it appears Jesus had the same standards for all of us. Oh, but God probably changed, right? He had to, because he was nothing but a big giant tyrant for 4,000 years. He definitely brought his people out of bondage just to put them back into bondage and torture them with curses, with laws he knew they could never possibly follow. Malachi 3:6, For I am the Lord, I do not change. And Deuteronomy 30:11, For this commandment that I command you today is not too hard for you, neither is it far off. So God doesn't change, and he said his laws are easy. That one's out too. Oh, but he definitely had different laws for Israel back then than he does for what's considered Israel today. In Romans 11, Paul says, You're Israel now. Numbers 15, One ordinance shall be for you and the stranger who dwells with you. An ordinance forever throughout your generations. One law and one custom shall be for you and the stranger who dwells with you. That's out.